Welcome back to Let's Talk, the Elevated Brand Podcast. I am your host, Angelia Malbrew, and your guide to transforming your personal and professional brand. Today's topic is building an engaging online presence, the foundation that anyone looking to stand out in a digital world can actually use. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Your online presence is your digital storefront, your first impression, that digital handshake, and often the deciding factor whether people do business with you or not. So it doesn't matter if you're a photographer, entrepreneur, small business owner, real estate mogul, it doesn't matter. This episode is for you. This episode will give you the tools to not only take your business, your brand to the next level, but it will also make you unforgettable and profitable. Okay? So stay tuned. I also have a few new things that I want to share with you guys for 2025, including how to grab one of my last minute branding sessions for January and February. And one more thing, just in case you haven't heard, ladies, we have the Elevated Brand Society and we have open spots for our new founders. The doors will be open in January, but we'll talk more about that later on in the podcast. Let's dive in. Today, I want to talk about how you should be looking to define your online brand identity. Because your brand identity isn't just about you looking good. It's more than just taking pretty pictures and making yourself feel all fancy online because you're doing selfies and you're doing your little videos and your reels and stuff. But it's more than that. It's about being memorable and authentic. This is where many businesses fall short. And if you don't believe me, you can take a scroll down your social media right now. And you will see a ton of people there representing something that is not authentic to them because they have tried to be in this cookie cutter society where they're finding other people, they're branching off, they're looking at what they're doing, and they're not taking it personal because it's not authentic to them. So this is how you're going to stand out, right? So here are the key elements of a strong online brand identity. One, what is your why? Don't worry about what anybody else in your industry, don't worry about what they're doing. Worry about what makes you different. Start by understanding what makes your brand unique from everybody else's. For me, I can always go back to talk about the way I give a customer experience journey that takes my clients through this transformation, if you will. And I love when I first meet people and they're a little bit skeptical because they worked with other photographers before. And so they're not really sure what to expect because either they've had good experiences or they've had bad experiences, or it's been a situation where they didn't feel that the experience was something that they should really get excited about, right? It was always like I've worked with a photographer before, and when I worked with them, it was 20 years ago. So things have changed. A lot of things have changed, especially when you're trying to be a step above and you're trying to give the very best service that you can give. Okay. So just think about what makes you different, what drives you, what lights you up, and what do you want to do? Because a lot of people are going through a rebranding and a reshift in their business. And so they're trying to get back to what makes them happy and what will help them to be successful in this coming year, what will help them to branch out and be different from the rest. And this type of clarity attracts the right audience. Because let me just tell you guys a little quick story. So, when I think about what my brand and my business means to me, it helps me to realize what I can do to help somebody else. So, my mission in life, and I wholeheartedly believe this, is to help other people. So, if I can take that and I can wrap everything, all the love that I have, all the support that I have for other people, if I can take that and put that into my business and encompass that in a place that people feel, oh my gosh, when you book a session with Angelia, it's something that you never expect the things that we pull out of the bag, first of all. And it's nothing to scare you, but we literally have an amazing experience. And I'm always tweaking my experience for my clients to make it even better than they could have ever imagined, right? And so when I say this, I think about what that looks like for my clients. What does that customer journey look like for them? How can I help them to develop into the brand owner, the business owner, the, executive, the real estate mogul that they want to show up as, because that's who they are in their real life. So I think about all of that when I'm writing out, my vision for 2025 and beyond. Not just, what am I going to do for January 1st? What am I doing now? What can I do to be different than everybody else? Right. And also, your voice and tone. Are you approachable? Are you luxurious like me? Are you empowering like me? Are you playful? We like to have fun, right? And so your tone should match your client's experience. What are you expecting out of this? What should your clients expect out of this? And what makes you happy to deliver that type of service to them? Visual cohesion. Now, this goes without saying, but it's way more than colors, fonts, and logos, right? It's all about your imagery. It's all about the graphics. It's about the videos and the consistent story that they tell. So you can have one branch of your business where you're typing a whole lot of information out that's educational, right? And then you can have one branch of your business where you are showing. One of my mentors from back in the day, she always used to tell us, show, don't tell, right? And so it gets to a point where you have to become a storyteller. So if you're not able to properly articulate that for your clients, you're going to miss out on people that could be really positioned to spend that money with you, to be your client. So always think about what your visual cohesion says, your brand and your voice sound. What does that sound like? And your why. Why are you doing it? Okay, so here is a practical exercise. And you guys know I'm an educator at heart. But I want you to think about three words that truly describe your brand. And I also want you, if you did not attend the Elevate Your Brand Masterclass last night, please go back to YouTube and watch that. That is the one from December the 12th. And I want you guys to go back and watch that because we really, really, really shared a lot of impactful information that I think you guys could find extremely helpful and beneficial. So go ahead and go back and watch that. Take notes, get your notepad out because there is so much information that I broke down for you guys of how you should be positioning yourself in 2025 and how you can start building yourself up to grow to the next level. And I want you to think about auditing your current online presence and see if everything that you thought about with those three words that I told you to think about, if that is relayed consistently, if that is reflected all across the board on every platform you have. And if it's not, go ahead and get that done, get that updated, get that refresh going before the new year sets in. Right. And here's a pro tip: create a branding style guide. Now, here's the thing: if you don't have a template for that, see me after class. And I love to say see me after class. See me after class, and I'll have that for you because one thing about Angelia, she never puts out anything unless she has some content to match it and some information that you can actually use to put your information on the front street. Right? Okay. Even if it's a one pager, I want you guys to think about creating a new brand style guide for your business because I want you to keep all your visuals, your messaging, and everything in alignment. This is going to be a game changer, especially when you collaborate with people, because I know with my business, when I'm collaborating with people and I'm doing content for them or I'm creating information that they can use in their brand, that is like goal for me because one, I don't have to figure out what your colors are because you can have two different shades of gold and it could be wrong because if you don't have the correct hex code, are you really using the right color? So we want everything to be in alignment. Okay. Alrighty. Next thing I want you to do is think about the platforms that you are choosing going forward. It's tempting to be everywhere online, but let me tell you, focus beats frenzy every single time. Here are a few steps that you can use in order to find the platform that works best for you. Because honestly, I'm a photographer, right? That is one of my main jobs that I do. That's not the only hat that I wear. I do wear multiple hats. And so for the photography business specifically, I know that business does very well on Instagram and on Pinterest. And as of lately, when I do like age campaigns and things like that, Facebook is the place that works best for me. So it really depends on your industry, but here are a few things that I think would be beneficial for you to align yourself with the right platform, because you don't have to be everywhere, but definitely get your digital real estate everywhere, if you know what I mean. Okay, number one, where do your audience members spend the most time? If you're targeting women in business like me, LinkedIn may be a powerhouse for you. Don't be afraid to hop in those DMs and have a conversation with those women, because believe it or not, some people are nervous to talk to you just like you're nervous to talk to them. So be an icebreaker. Go in there and have a good time in a conversation. Now, if you need networking tips, make sure you see me after class, because I am a powerhouse networker, as my good friend Nikki Clauser says from the Portrait Masters podcast now, Portrait Sister podcast. Now, if you haven't heard my podcast interview, please go ahead and download that, where I talk about how I left my 9 to 5 to be a powerhouse networker and personal branding photographer. That's, like I said, one of the many hats that I wear, but you guys should definitely tune in to hear more about my story. Also, for visual storytelling, Instagram is the place to be. So here are the platform strengths. Now, I'm just giving you a few of them, and I'm not running through all of them, but I do want you to know about Instagram. One is visual heavy, right? It's perfect for photographers and personal brands. So you can show up and show out, because that's what Instagram is for. And LinkedIn. Professional connections is ideal for business to business and business to consumer connections. Now, we all know that there is some news circulating around TikTok, but I will touch briefly on TikTok. TikTok is short form, creative, and rapidly growing for business insights. So, if you want more of a deep dive into which platforms will be best for you, make sure you see me after class, because I am giving brand strategy sessions to those that are looking to, just take their brands up to the next level. And I think you guys will be a perfect candidate for that, because you're already here with the Elevated Brand podcast. Alrighty. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop right on back into the rest of the information I have to share with you. All right. And another thing I would love to share with you. How many times have you taken the initiative to go and check out what your competitors are doing? Not to go and try to do what they're doing, but I want you to spend 1 hour just analyzing people in your niche. I want you to look at their engagement rates and look at the type of content that they are putting out. You can use this to refine your strategy. And I say all the time, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But what I'm not telling you to do is go over there and steal from your competitor, but I am going to kindly advise you to go over and take a peek and see what's working well for them. You can do similar things, maybe the same concept, but not the same video, not the same idea. So just be strategic in your plan to do this refinement as it comes to putting yourself in a different category, standing out from the competition. Okay. All right, let's also break down content creation, because we can't talk about the platforms and the way to stand out on them unless we're literally taking a deep dive into the content creation of it all, right? So let's talk about the pillars of content engagement. Um, First things first, content isn't just king, it's your entire kingdom. Okay. But not all content is created equal. You do know that. Let's break it down. So, number one, the three pillars of engaging content are educational content, inspirational content, and relational content. Number one, let's dive a little bit deeper into the educational aspect, because we see a lot of people putting out how-to videos, and, sometimes they don't just educate you on that product or service, but it's also educating you on how to properly do that video when it's done right. Now, I have to put that little disclaimer in there: when it's done correctly. So look at the educational aspect of building out your content I think that the three pillars is a great place to start because the educational side is going to teach your audience something they didn't know. For example, you could do 5 ways to, if you're a baker, 5 ways to bake your bread to make sure that it doesn't go old fast, or isn't too dry, and it has the perfect consistency. So it's so many things that you could do around the educational aspect, but just do it for your industry and your target audience, and you will definitely see an uptick in your videos. Look at how many times people are rewatching your videos. That's something that I often look at as my analytics, and I talk about this all the time. I love, love, love breaking down my analytics and just seeing what's working, what's not working. How many times are people watching my videos, and how many times are they rewatching? I've noticed recently that the videos that I've been posting, they have an average rerun time, and it's extremely high. One of them, I think it was like 49 times had been rewatched, this one video. And while you may see people watching your stuff, they may not be always liking the videos, but just because they are rewatching and watching and watching and watching the video is still going to help you in the long run, because it's helping your algorithm to be dedicated in helping you to be shown to the people that should see you the most. All right, let's talk about inspirational content. You could always share client success stories. You could show motivational posts that resonates with your target audience. And so when you think about inspiring people, everybody everywhere needs some inspiration. I don't care where you are or what you're doing, you need to be inspired. Okay, because truth is everybody is tired and we all need a little inspiration from time to time. So why aren't you helping to fill in this gap? Okay. And last but not least, relational content. So I want you to think about how you can show more of your personality, behind the scenes, candid moments, or even challenges that you've overcome. Now, I'm not telling you to go out here and put all your business out there in the streets. I would never advocate for that. But what I do want you to do is, if you're willing to show up and be vulnerable about what you've gone through, what you're going through, and how you overcame that, that may be something that can help someone else. Because when I'm speaking, and people invite me to speak all the time, when I'm speaking on stage, one of the things that I speak about a lot is my journey getting through cancer, and, the faith that I had to rely on to make sure that I kept my mind strong to get through that, because it was hard. Imagine this: you go to the doctor because you feel a pain in your body. And for me, it was my neck. And to get there, only to be told, we're going to set you up for surgery. This was a Wednesday. My surgery was scheduled for that Monday morning. So you have a very short time frame to kind of take it all in. You don't have time to be afraid. You don't have time to be scared. And then to be told, I'm sorry, you have cancer. Like, those are words that I will never, ever, ever forget as long as I have my right mind. And so being able to be where I am now, I wish that I was more willing to show more of my experience and my journey when I was going through it, because every time I hop on stage and I tell somebody about my story, and I tell somebody about, how I made it through that, I always inspire somebody. I always have people coming up to me with tears in their eyes, or they're telling me, Angelia, it's because of you that I'm going to the doctor. It's because of you that I'm going to advocate for myself. And I will tell anybody that listens, always advocate for yourself and always do what you need to do in order to make sure you're okay. Because we have enough in life to deal with. We don't need to be dealing with extra things on top of the things we're already dealing with, right? So just make it relational, make it inspirational, and be you. Just be authentic in everything you do. So here's the advanced strategy I would like to share with you as it relates to your content creation. Use the 80-20 rule. 80% of your content should add value. 20% can directly promote your services or your call to action for your sales, because no one wants to go on social media and every time they go on there, the only thing they hear from you is sell, 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 sell. People are not on Instagram to be sold to. So if you are one of those people that are able to make a sale from social media, then you should definitely consider yourself blessed, because people do not go on social media to be sold to. And so that's why you have to be very strategic in your approach when you are using your calls to action to ask people to purchase from you. Um, because you can sell out, and I'm not talking about selling out of your product or service. I'm talking about you can literally get people to the point where they start unfollowing you because you're asking them for money so much. And I hate when people do that because it makes the experience on social media just not good. Okay. So don't do that. Don't be a bugaboo. All right. So here's a pro tip. This is something that I typically do. When I sit down and batch my content, I batch my content for about 60 to 45 days in advance. So if you ever see a break in my content showing up, is because I've gone through my content and I haven't sat down to batch it out. So batching out your content in 45-day sprints is such a blessing, because that's one less thing for you to have to worry about. So plug in about 3 to 4 hours. And if you're really good and if you start putting your stuff in a folder, pro tip, put your things in a folder. So when you're ready to schedule things out, you will already have your content. You can also start creating your captions. So just start and go create a list. And you don't have to go as long as me by doing 45 days, but you can start with a 10-day. You can start with a 30-day sprint and just create your 30 captions, and whatever images or content you're going to post, you already have everything together. And all you need to do is just schedule it out. I mean, it's just that simple, but you have to time block. You have to put parameters in place so that you're not being bothered and you're not being disturbed when you're doing that. Okay, this will help you to avoid burnout and maintain your consistency. Okay, so just food for thought. All right, now let's talk about building engagement, creating real connections. Engagement goes beyond likes and comments, it's about building a community. Have you built a community around you? I know for me, when I started to look at my social media feed, my Facebook specifically, I started to notice that the more information I posted about my business and my brand, I started getting more business owners. And the more groups that I was in, I started getting more business owners that were sending me um, friend requests, or they were following me. And so all that goes out the window if you're not showing up for yourself and your brand. So I want you to start engaging beyond just leaving a heart on somebody's page. Like, leave a meaningful comment. And I have put myself in the forefront of this as well. I need to actually start doing more of that, because I have a tendency to get on social media, and that's why I try to be very, very, very lenient with getting my other things done and being strategic when I get on social media, because it becomes a black hole. I don't want that for you. I want better for you. I want you to get on there and do what you need to do. Comment on your people's stuff and engage with your community. Follow up with people you haven't heard from in a while. But I want you to be strategic. Don't get on there and start doom scrolling, because you know how that goes. Okay? All right. Here are the top engagement strategies I think you should be considering going into 2025. One, ask the right questions. Use your captions to spark dialogue. What have you been asking in your comments? Are you just leaving a comment? If you're a photographer, and I'm just saying it because I'm a photographer, are you just talking about the experience you provide? Are you just talking about how the client was? Or are you saying, oh, this was a great day, this was an amazing shoot with Bianca or whatever her name was? Are you doing that, or are you literally breaking down why people should do business with you? Are you asking them questions to make them engage with you? Another thing, Go live regularly. Now, you guys know about the Elevate Your Brand Masterclass that we host live weekly on Thursdays, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's something that I feel has really helped my business tremendously. It has helped my engagement tremendously. And so I'm planning to start going live even more. Like, I'm going harder in 2025, and I've already started that, going live more to connect with more people, to find the audience that I really want to work with. And I think the more I go live, the more I find them, because they are finding me, they are seeing me, and my videos are getting so many more replays, and people are commenting, and people are asking questions in the comments, and they are showing up for the live. So make sure you schedule in your calendar to come to the Elevate Your Brand Masterclass on Thursdays, because we have a good time. Okay. And you can find that on YouTube. You can also catch me on LinkedIn, and every now and then we go live on Facebook, but I'll be letting you guys know every single week where we'll be going live. But 9 times out of 10, going forward, it's going to be LinkedIn and YouTube. All right. Next thing, collaborate. Are you collaborating? Do you have brand partners or people, individuals, companies, brands, anybody that share your audience? Who else is serving the clients that you want to serve? When you create joint partnerships, you are able to boost your visibility 100%, because guess what? The people that you are collaborating with, connecting with, those people have your audience members, and you don't know them all, and they don't know you. So now you have a 100% chance of getting in front of more people that are likely to buy your products or services. All right, here's the engagement challenge, because I'm going to start putting these in here going forward. This week, I want you to respond to every comment or direct message personally, because you want to show your audience that you are listening. And guess what? When you talk to people, they will talk back to you. Okay. All right. Now, let's break down a few more things about this content. So, I want to talk about tools for automation and analytics. Consistency is key, but let's face it, managing a business and staying active on social media is no small task. It is a big job. Okay. And unless you have a team, unless you are structured and you are disciplined, it's going to be very hard for you to stay consistent, keep your things together, because you might say, oh, I'm going to post this on Instagram tomorrow. And then you ended up putting in your drafts and you didn't post it. And now tomorrow turns to yesterday and you still didn't do it. And you time stamped it for Tuesday. And now you got to wait till the next Tuesday, and then you miss it again. And guess what? It's still in your drafts. So think about all the videos and content that you created that you left in your draft that you never posted. Make sure that you are investing, or either time or money. You're going to pay with one or the other. Okay. So automation tools help you to save time. So you can always go to your Facebook scheduler. You can always schedule things from Facebook. If you use Canva, you can create your images and you can schedule from there if you have your accounts hooked up. You know, I'm a Canva fanatic. I love it. I'm such a Canva creator. And also, if you want to invest in a scheduling tool, there are a lot of tools out there. Honestly, I have used almost all of them. The one that I love so much is me doing it through social media. Now, granted, I've used Later and I've used Hootsuite and all these other platforms, right? And that's all well and good. But what I noticed when I use those programs is sometimes I got low engagement, versus when I posted it myself or posted it from the respective platform, the engagement was much better. But again, you have to be disciplined to do this. This can't be something that you decide, wake up today, you're going to do, and then tomorrow we don't hear from you for 3 weeks. We don't want that. We want you to be consistent. And if you say, I'm only going to post on Wednesdays, okay, Wednesday, we are going to be looking for you on Wednesdays. Okay. If you're going to post on Monday and Friday, we need to see you on Monday and Friday. So just be intentional, be strategic, and make sure you are planning your content out so that you're not getting burned out. All right, and let's talk about why analytics matter, because who looks at analytics outside of Angelia? Data gives you the power to refine your strategy. So I need you guys to pay attention to your engagement rates. People are liking, commenting, and sharing, right? Okay. All right. What about your website traffic? Are you checking with your website traffic? Are you seeing where these people are coming from? Are they coming from social media? Are they coming from Google? Are you even registered on Google My Business? Do you even have your page set up? Where is your traffic coming from? Conversion rates. How many of your viewers are you able to convert into clients? And if the number is zero, we need to change that. We need to get you to a place where your viewers become buyers. And the only way we're going to make that happen is if you're staying aware of what's working and what's not working. You need to go back, if you haven't already, if you need help in this area, make sure you go back and listen to my analytics talk that I did here on Let's Talk the Elevated Brand podcast, where I broke down analytics and why they're so important. So, pro tip for your analytics, set a monthly goal to review and analyze your top performing content. You know, you can reshare content, right? Especially if it did very well and if it's still relative. Use this insight and information to guide what you do in your future posts. So if you notice that people like to see you walking and doing a voiceover video, keep doing that because that's what's working for you. Or if you see when people have a affinity to see you talk live like me, keep doing that because that's what's working for you. If you have something where people just like to see, you post the carousels with no pictures, just words, that's working for you, keep doing it. Stick to what works. All right. So here are a few things that I hope you guys are able to understand my passion for analytics and how I really want you guys to thrive in this next season of your lives, your businesses, your finances, and everything attached to you. I want it to be blessed and prosperous because I want you to win. That is my goal, is for you to win. So, with that being said, I have a few things that are coming out and I want you to be a part of it. So, as we prepare for an incredible 2025, I want to invite you to some of my exciting opportunities. So, number one, the luxury branding photography experience. I only have 8 spots left for January and February. So I only have 8 spots left for January and February, and I'm being very, very intentional about telling you guys about these 8 spots because I want you guys to take them, right? So if you've been waiting to elevate your personal brand with a high-end transformative experience, now's the time to book. Like, let's stop playing around. It's getting ready to be an entirely new year, and it's time for you to rebrand and refresh. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, the Elevated Brand Society. So, officially launching on January the 1st, is the ultimate community for women, entrepreneurs, and professionals, but not just anybody. We're looking for people that are ready to elevate their brands and their businesses in 2025 and beyond. So our founding members will receive special perks. So don't miss out on this opportunity to be a part of something that's not only impactful, but something that will help you, your business, your brand, and your lifestyle to go to the next level. And number three, last but not least, all of my new offers and projects. I have so many things in the works for you guys. I have everything from masterminds to new podcast topics, and I have so much in store that I want you to be a part of. You. Did you hear me say you? It's important. You guys are a part of my community and I love you so much. So here's the thing. I want you guys to DM me on Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook when you're ready. like really ready to book your spot for your social media content creation strategy, when you're ready to book your session for your photo shoot. And if you have questions about the Elevated Brand Society that I really want you to be a part of, I want you guys to DM me directly. um Stop hiding behind the screens and let's have conversation, okay? And I also want you to do me a big favor. I want you to share this episode with a friend or family member or anybody that you feel needs help to elevate their personal and professional brands online. Let's grow this community together, okay? All righty. So thank you so much for joining me. Remember, building an engaging online presence take time, but the results are well worth it. Your brand is your story. So I want you to tell it to everybody, show it to everybody. But I want you to do it with intention, authenticity, and the commitment to growth. So, if you're ready to take the next step, reach out to me. I'd love to help you to elevate your brand, whether through photography, the Elevated Brand Society, of one of my new amazing offers that I have coming January 2025. So, you got to stay tuned. I want you to stay plugged in and I want you to let me know how this episode helped you. If you got anything from it, let me know in the comments. Okay. I want you to make this chapter of your life the most impactful yet. Until next time, stay elevated. May the Lord watch between me and thee while we're absent one from another. I pray that God continues to bless you. I pray that He shines upon you and everything you do is a blessing, not just to you, but everybody you come in contact with. With that being said, I love you guys. Stay elevated. Keep doing all the amazing things and let me know if this podcast bless your life. All right. Love you guys. Bye.